Alright guys, in this next video, I'm going to move on to shape number 2, which is the symmetrical ice cream cone shape. Um, the tools we're going to use in this one are going to be lines, mirroring, that'll be new, arcs, which we just learned in the last shape, and then of course dimensional and geometrical constraints. Those kind of come along with almost everything you do in Onshape from now on. So let's go to Onshape. We're going to draw these lines. You've got some dimensions in here that we want to maintain. They're kind of weird and obscure, but just go with it. Okay, don't worry so much about it. I'm going to start with this vertical line here. I'm going to draw this in Onshape. And then I'm going to draw another line approximately 10 degrees from that. Again, remember we can actually define that angle. And then we use the mirror tool to take that line and mirror it across this line. So let me show you how to do that. We have this is our asymmetrical ice cream cone. I am going to turn that sketch off so it's not bothering us. You can do that by hitting the eyeball over here. You can also start a new document. It's totally up to you. I'm going to start with a sketch. I'm going to do it on the front face. Okay. I'm going to, again, start with a line, vertical line. You can draw it at origin. You can draw it wherever you want. And I'm just going to go straight up with it and select it. Okay. If you want to just make sure this stays vertical, you can click on the vertical geometric constraint and go ahead and click on it. Okay. The next thing we need to do is, first of all, let's go ahead and dimension that to be 2.819. And then we'll go ahead and draw this other line. So first thing, let's click our dimension tool, make that 2.819. Again, weird kind of number. Just don't worry too much about it. And then now we're going to draw that line at approximately 10 degrees over. You can just freehand it. What I'm doing here is I've got the line tool. I'm going to go up and hover over that endpoint and just kind of move it out so it actually keeps it the same like length. Not the same length, but that it's projecting to the same point, like on the horizontal line. Okay. So I went ahead and clicked that line, but I don't know for sure this is 10 degrees from that. So what I'm going to do is click the dimension tool, and I'm going to click on both those lines. Pretty close, but not exact. So I'm going to go to click and type 10 so that it's exact. Okay. This should line up horizontally. If it doesn't, you can, click and draw your line horizontally. And, for example, if this line's like way out here, you can trim it. You can also, if it's down here, you can extend that line to it. Thankfully, mine worked well, so I'm just going to trim off that axis. And I'll just leave that triangle, that's fine. So now is where we're going to use and apply the mirror tool, which is new. The mirror tool can be found here on your tool. We're still in Sketch 2. Haven't gotten out of Sketch 2. And the mirror tool is right here next to the offset tool and the pattern tool. Okay. When we click on this, it's going to say select a mirror line. All right. I have nothing selected. If, for example, you had this line selected, you clicked mirror, it's going to say select entities to be mirrored. It's going to assume that that's what you want your mirror line to be, which is actually not true. We want to mirror this on this mirror line. So make sure you don't have anything selected. Click mirror, select mirror line. That's going to be our vertical line, and then select entities to be mirrored. That's going to be that line. Okay, so when we click it, it's going to go and pop right over, right, which is exactly what we want. All right. If you wanted this line to extend all the way over, you could draw another line. That just goes from here to here. For this assignment, it shows that, so you can do that. It's also okay if you don't. I'm not really too worried about that. But for funsies, let's just show how to extend it. So I go over here, I drop down, I select extend. And then I'm going to click this line and I'm going to see how it starts to move it. And then I'm going to snap to that. That is actually a very helpful tool, knowing how to extend your lines. So see if you can do that and practice that. Now the last thing we need to do is do a 3-point arc, radius 0.497. That's going to be the arc that's tangent to those lines. So go in and create your 3-point arc, click on those endpoints, and then just drag that out until it snaps to tangent. Okay? And it'll be at 0.497. That's why I left it like that. But again, you can always place that dimension. It's great practice to just keep dimensioning things. And there you have it. There's your symmetrical ice cream cone. Go ahead and screenshot that for yourself.